Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, you find a way to lose. Hey man, Bill Haney is he is what he is, all right. But he's out there, him and Devin Haney, doing something somewhere where they actually have been around a lot of animals. Seen videos of Devin Haney feeding bears, feeding lions, and that's cool. But there's a video that surfaced of Bill Haney referring to a little chimpanzee as Abdul Wahid, which is Gervonta Davis' new name. And I don't really think it's funny because, like I say, there's some things that kind of hit home with me. And when I talk about some of these guys who decide to take Islam on and make that their religion, or they want to change their names, there's nothing wrong with that. But when I say I hope they know what they're getting into, there are some people who are like, well, what do you mean by that? And what do you mean they get what they're getting into, and why are you being negative? It's like, I never said anything negative. What makes you think it's something negative? Now, when I say that, I'm talking from 48. Well, I'm 48 years old, but I would say probably around age 6 or 7. Is where I knew my name was different. And people will point it out to you. So at age 48, I'm more than qualified to talk about having a unique name here in America, and how sometimes people, will just say things thinking it's funny. But check this out.
She ain't fooling with this dude. Abdul Wahid, and she's scared of him. Look, one in the back, she ain't fooling with this dude. Abdul Wahid, and she's scared of him. Look, one in the back, she ain't fooling with this dude. Abdul Wahid, and she's scared of him. Look, one in the back, she ain't fooling with this.
That's him referring to the chimpanzee as Abdul Wahid. Now that's very, very disrespectful. Now I get it, the mind games, sense of humor, trying to get under Tank's skin, trying to get the upper hand, because obviously at some point Tank and Devin have to fight. But for Bill Haney to refer to the monkey as that name, Abdul Wahid, which was chosen by Gervonta Davis as a Muslim name, and for Bill Haney, right, who claims to be a Muslim as well, and then to put on the video, little monkey N-word, hear me. Now, for some of y'all gonna laugh at that. And don't get me wrong, I got a great sense of humor. Great sense of humor. Right? So there's sometimes I'll be like, man, this is wild, this dude's crazy. But then there's another part of me that's like, man, that shit is just wrong. Because of the message that it sends, man. And this is why I say these guys gotta know what they're getting themselves into, because nobody can take them serious, you know what I'm saying? And this you get this guy who's Devin's father, and out here talking in front of the whole world, Alhamdulillah, Bismillah, talk about making zakat, Inshallah this, right? But then they come out here and do this kind of craziness, man. So that's why I see some of the comments people are making about the religion, because, people are going to say what they want. I know that. But, I mean, when people who maybe this is their first time really learning, are learning of people who, they feel kind of familiar with because they follow the sport of boxing, who say they're Muslim and they see them conducting themselves this way, kind of hard to take people serious, you know what I'm saying? And when people come across others who say they're Muslim, they're going to sit there and have an opinion. I mean, it's just how it is. If you've had bad experiences with, people from certain origins, or certain religions, certain races, depending on your experience, you're probably gonna expect that when you, especially if it's happening consistently, you may kind of put the hairy eyeball on somebody that comes from that origin or race or religion, gender when you meet them the next time. Meet somebody like that the next time. But that being said, I just, some people think it's funny. I got a good sense of humor, and I get it. Just trying to get under his skin, but I just think, man, that just caught me off guard. Caught me off guard. You know, to say that and do that. I just don't think it's funny, man. I personally don't. I think that one is crazy. That's just the same kind of shit as I'm gonna give you a story, right? I remember I had a buddy who was Cuban. Blonde hair and blue eyes, man. Man barely spoke English and shit. Me and him, we were both in the military, man. And we hooked up because we like boxing. So like me, him, a couple of my partners. So we used to go out, man, go out to clubs and chill. And I remember going into this club. He was with us. Blonde hair, blue eyes, barely spoke English, Cuban dude. All of us were boxers. And I remember going to this club. This one guy's like, "Hey, is that white boy with y'all?" I remember that, and I looked at him, and I was like, "Yeah." I said, "He's Cuban, man." I said, "Yeah, he's with us." And he was like, he didn't hear what they said. He just noticed the energy towards him was different. And I remember he was like asking me like, "Hey, you know, what's wrong with those guys?" And I was like, "Nothing." So we ended up leaving because I knew for a fact that, you know, they were acting a little funny towards him, you know. But I knew that he was one of the wrong ones to set off. You know, that Cuban cat could get busy. I was like, "Man, we're gonna be in here fighting and knocking these motherfuckers out. So let's just go." So we left out of there and went to a place that was that was a little more welcoming, right? So we go to this place. All this shit happened in the same night. I'm not lying to you. So we go to this place, and they let him in, no problem. So then my other buddy, who's Dominican, he went in, no problem. So I get ready to go in. All of a sudden, they stop me and shit. And they're like, "You can't come in here with those shoes." Now, I had on Clarks. You know what I mean? Black leather Clarks. And I'm like, he like, "You can't come in here with Jordans." I'm like, first of all, I don't even wear Jordans. These are Clarks. You know what I'm saying? But they were just messing with me, you know? And then my buddy came back out and he was like, "Hey, why you not letting them in?" And then they realized, like, "Oh shit, this cat, you know, he got this little weird accent." And they're like, "Oh, he's with you?" He's like, "Yeah, he's with me. He's good." And they were about to let me in. And they were like, "Yo," and they were watching me, right? And they made a comment. One of the guys was like, "Yeah, that guy, the white guy has that guy with the Jerry curl," right? That's what the guy said. "Yeah, they get hanging with that guy with the Jerry curl." You know, trying to be clowns because my hair's wavy and shit. You know, island cat. You know what I'm saying? So I heard that, and I turned around, and they just grabbed my arms like, "Yo, just come on in, Dick. Don't worry about it." And it took everything in me not to go off on them. But anyway, so we get past the bouncers, and we're about to go into the club. Now, you hear me talk about names and how people mess with people's names, not cool. Now we about to go into the club. We got past the bouncers. So we got to show our IDs to get in. Yo, there's 4 of us, right? 3 of us have these, 2 of them cats is Spanish. So they got their little Spanish names and shit. So the people checking the IDs are looking at them because, you know, sometimes some people think you're either white or you're black. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know people come from different, you know, parts of the world and, you know, all kind of biracial and multiracial and shit. They don't get it. They don't understand mixture, nothing. But they were like, what's your name? So they started thinking these dudes had fake IDs. Then they saw my name and shit, and then, you know, all hell broke loose, you know what I mean? But anyway, we just got our IDs, man. We made a little bit of noise. We didn't tear the club up and shit. But we just bounced. Then we went to this other spot where you just, you show your ID and go in. There wasn't no stress. We went in there and was messing around, mingling, them crazy-ass females. And then we ended up going back out there to the crib, man. But let me tell you, we had fun there too at that third spot. There was a lot of females in there. But I'll give you that story because when I think about Bill Haney making fun of the name Abdul Wahid and referring to the monkey as Abdul Wahid, it just makes me think about, you know, some of the bullshit and the ignorance, you know, that I've come across in 48 years when it comes to names and how some people think it's funny to mess with someone's name. Let me tell you something, man. I've seen people. I gotta be careful what I say on here because the real person comes out. But I've seen people, man, get hurt really badly for shit like this. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people get hurt really badly, man. And I just think the shit they're doing is just not okay. And the thing is, it's not even about Tank Davis responding to him and deciding that, hey, I don't like what you guys are doing. It's the people who they don't realize are being affected by it. It's like collateral damage. The people who are just sitting back and come across the video and take offense to what they're saying, like, man, this is crazy. You refer to this monkey by this Muslim name that Tank chose for himself. That's how you're gonna refer to this monkey. And I'm telling you, there's some people who will look at that and they won't be okay with that. But that being said, Bill Haney, I think he crossed the line. And for me, man, that shit ain't funny to me. I got a good sense of humor, don't get me wrong. But once you get past, okay, you hear it, you laugh, but when you start really thinking about the idea of referring to that monkey as that ain't cool. It's not even, it's just a problem.
Abdul Wahid, and she's scared of him. Look, one in the back, she ain't fooling with this dude. Abdul Wahid,
That's
and
crazy
she's scared of him. Look, one in the back, she ain't fooling with this dude. Abdul Wahid, and she's scared of him.